Well, good morning. I'm Victoria Gallagher from HipTalk.com. It is Monday. I was going to say Friday. Anyway, we had a cat, and you might see Sebastian hanging out with us this morning. And you might also hear some, I don't know, chainsaw kind of noise across the street. And there it is. We're just going to have to go with it. So at least we're not going to be doing any, deep hypnosis or meditation processes this morning. Today's talk is about, it is about good old hypnosis, and it's about whether you can be hypnotized or not. There's still so many people out there that have misconceptions about what hypnosis is, and therefore, because you don't really understand what hypnosis is, you might feel like you can't be hypnotized. So I want to kind of break up that myth and get into what it really is so that you can understand that you absolutely can be hypnotized. You have been hypnotized many, many times already. So basically, in a nutshell, what hypnosis is, it's the programming or reprogramming of your automatic behaviors, habits, thoughts that reside in your subconscious mind. Let me say that again. So it's the programming or reprogramming of the automatic behaviors, patterns, and thoughts that reside in your subconscious mind. So all that really means is that you go from having a deeply held belief about something, and when I say deeply held, it's just held in your subconscious mind, which is, it's all your mind, and it's just a layer below that which you're conscious of. So you're going around being consciously aware and having conscious thoughts, but you have beliefs that are underneath what you're aware of. There's things that you have experienced, felt, thought, and habits that you've created, and because of life, and because you have to get through each and every day, you can't possibly be thinking about or be totally present or aware to everything that resides in your mind. So whatever it is that you're not consciously aware of right now is unconscious. That means that there are things that happened yesterday that are in your subconscious mind now. They're there, and if I reminded you about something that happened yesterday, like what did you have for lunch? You're not consciously thinking about that before I asked that. But now that I asked you that, you're bringing that forth. Well, that was just sitting there in your subconscious mind. You see that? And so your subconscious mind holds all of the thoughts and the beliefs that you're not consciously aware of right in this moment. And so that just kind of gives you an idea of that. So, but if I wanted to maybe change your idea about something that you've been believing for a while, let's say that you heard something, you read something, and once you read that, or that person told you that, or you saw that thing on TV, that became like, I believe in this. Because somebody just told you something one time, and you just immediately bought into that. Well, that right then and there was the classic definition of hypnosis. You programmed a new belief into your subconscious mind. And so you do that all the time. And so how do I know that you can be hypnotized? Because you get hypnotized every single day of your life, day in day out, and you go into states that make you more susceptible to subconscious programming, such as the alpha and the theta state, and you pass through those states day in, day out, every time you wake up in the morning and every time you go to bed at night. And so when we go into hypnosis, a purposeful state, you go into hypnosis by accident all the time, and you're just not even aware that you're in hypnosis. But if I were to guide you into hypnosis, or you were to use one of my guided hypnosis sessions or meditation sessions, you can guide yourself into a state of alpha or theta, which will make you more susceptible to the new programming, the new input that we want to put into your mind. So hypnosis is not all about that stuff that you see on stage when people get up on stage and they cluck like chickens or bark like dogs or anything like that. That is a form of hypnosis, but hypnosis doesn't usually happen just like that. And another false idea that people have is that if you don't go into a trance within the 25 minutes or half hour of time that you might go into, do your hypnosis session for, that then that means you're not hypnotizable. But hypnosis doesn't necessarily have any kind of time frame associated with it. You can go into hypnosis in a second just by somebody snapping their fingers. Maybe they have already preconditioned you to being able to go into hypnosis and given you a post-hypnotic suggestion that you'll go into hypnosis next time they snap their fingers. So you can go into self-hypnosis or hypnosis in 1 second of time, less than a second. And you can also be getting hypnotized over hours, days, weeks, months, by continually maybe reading a book, or watching something on TV and learning something new. Hypnosis is also a learning process. You're teaching your mind to believe something else, some new information. So again, how do I know that you can be hypnotized? Because you're a human being. You wouldn't be watching this if you weren't a human being that has a brain in their head and a mind. If you have a mind and you have a brain and you are a human being, then you can be hypnotized, and you have been hypnotized. Here's just a real quick test that you can do. Now, I want you to understand that this test does, whether you pass or fail this test, has no bearing on whether you can or cannot be hypnotized. It's simply to demonstrate to you the power of how easily you can go into hypnosis. So I want you to just close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to sit up, and I want you just to allow either one of your hands to just drop down by your side. Actually, why don't you just do both? Just drop both of your hands down by your sides. Good. Now your eyes are closed. Just take in a deep breath and breathe out. Good. Now I want you to focus on your right hand. Just focus on your right hand. Just focus on how heavy your right hand is feeling right now. Okay? Now I want you to focus all of your attention on your thumb. Just focus and put all of your entire mind on your thumb. And what you're going to begin to notice is the more you think about your thumb, the more you notice that it becomes tingly. The more you think about your thumb, the more you notice that it becomes tingly. And you can just feel maybe a throbbing sensation, or you can feel your thumb kind of getting bigger, swelling. You can feel a little tingling sensation. You can just feel like a vibrating. It might be coming from within your thumb or all around your thumb, but you feel that. And now I want you to move on to your forefinger, your index finger, right next to your thumb. And notice you can just take all your energy off of your thumb and put all of your energy on your index finger. And notice when you put your attention on your index finger suddenly becomes tingly. Okay, and move over to your middle finger. And now you can move that sensation over to your middle finger. And now your ring finger. And now your pinky. Okay, so what just happened? Did your fingers and your thumb and your hand get warm and tingly, or did it not do anything? Now, if it didn't do anything, again, this doesn't mean that you're not hypnotizable. This just means that that it didn't happen for you, that your imagination didn't impact your hand within a matter of a minute or two. Okay, you may need to focus on this just for a little bit more time in order to allow that to happen. But basically, anybody who did get impacted by that, you clearly accepted a suggestion that I was giving to you. Now, if I hadn't given you the suggestion for your hands or your fingers to become tingly, they wouldn't have done that all by themselves. They did that because you accepted a suggestion, and that is how powerful the subconscious mind is, because you didn't resist it, you just allowed it. And that's the final point that I want to kind of go into. You know, we could talk about this all day. You know, I could give you other tests. We could prove the power of self-hypnosis. But I want to talk about something even more important than that. And that is, you know, those who say, I can't be hypnotized, it's almost like they're wearing a badge of honor that is saying, you know, I can't be hypnotized, and I'm damn proud of it, right? You almost like have this, you feel proud of the fact that you can't be hypnotized. You just want to kind of like not allow yourself to be wrong about that fact. And so, the truth of the matter is, though, not being able to be hypnotized, or not buying into the fact that you can be hypnotized, is a very sad, sad thing. And I'll tell you why. Because anything that you want to ultimately change in your life, okay, you are going to need to get the backing of your subconscious mind on board, the whole committee on board, in order for you to change something permanently. If you try to do anything in life in a big way and make any kind of change, and you try to just do that with only using your conscious mind, life is going to be hard. It's going to be effortful. It's going to be a struggle. Why? Because you're using just your conscious willpower. You're not using the most powerful part of your mind. And so it's not very effective to just try to change things using only your conscious mind. You need the whole subconscious mind behind you in order for change to happen in a deeply profound way. And so when you tell yourself, I can't be hypnotized, you're blocking out a very powerful resource that you have that can make your life so much easier. You know, willpower was just meant for short term. It was just meant to get you from moment to moment. You know, I can go into the whole history of that, but you know, the subconscious mind is where the subconscious mind is responsible for running your whole body. It knows how to do that. And it also is the part of you that, remembers how to do all the things so that you don't have to consciously try to remember how to do those things day in, day out. You don't have to remember how to tie your shoelaces anymore. You just do it. You don't have to remember how to drive your car. Half the time you're driving and you're doing 5 other things at a time. And who's really driving your car? It's your subconscious mind. And so it's the same thing whenever you're trying to make any kind of change in your life. You're running around doing things on automatic pilot. And you're doing things because that is how you have been programmed to do it. Whether you got programmed to do that from before you were 5 years old, and many of our programs about what we believe were taught to us before we had the conscious willpower and the logical, rational mind built up so that we could say, no, I don't believe that. We didn't really have a choice in the matter in a lot of the things, a lot of the beliefs that we've taken on. So anyway, I'm just kind of getting a little bit overboard here over time. This is a very interesting topic, and I could just go on and on about it. So now that I've, kind of given you my argument on how I know that you have been hypnotized, you can be hypnotized, why don't you do yourself a favor and accept my gift free of charge of my free self-hypnosis step-by-step video training course that comes to you over 8 emails. Each day you're going to get a new email, and it's going to teach you a new step of how to hypnotize yourself. And this is one of the things that I consider like a prerequisite for my customers when they buy my products, to actually go through this course first so you know what's happening, and it just makes the process a little bit easier, a little bit more understandable, and a little bit more effective. But this is an absolutely free course, and along with that free course, you get 30 minutes of inner peace, which is a download. It's a wonderful download, and it's going to make you feel so good if you're dealing with any kind of stress or anxiety or depression, or just wanting to shift your vibration. That inner peace meditation, 30 minutes, it's free. It comes with the course, and it feels so good. And it also includes several different suggestibility tests, so you can find out how suggestible you are. So go to hiptalk.com and download that free course, and I'll see you soon. And have a wonderful day. Bye.